What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is April 1st, and no, this is no joke. We are back. If you've never been here before, if you're just finding us for the first time today via the YouTube algorithm, which has been very kind to us since the start of the baseball season, welcome to the channel. We do things differently here, as you can probably see from the link to the video. We bring home the bacon. What I mean by that is we go through every single game that we can. We look at the batters, we look at the pitchers, we look at it all. If you have questions about it, we'll try to answer them. We go through the pitchers, their history, the batters that have had success against them, the ones we would use in each game. If you're looking for an abbreviated version of just like certain plays we like, or pitchers that we want to pick out of, all 30 pitchers that we have available, or however many are available, that article is in the description of this video, along with the absolutely free Discord, where we do give some of the core plays and some of the value plays. But if you want to see even more, FTA Plus right here is $10 for a week, $30 for a month, $199 for a year, or $200 or $500 for a lifetime pass. That being said, we try to have giveaways every single day as well. We try to do 2, and here's how to win. You got to be a subscriber to this channel. You got to leave a like on this video, and you've got to comment. You have to leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you'll have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. That is a week of all sports, not just MLB. If the video gets 100 likes, a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. Now, usually we do the likes that have to be locked in by main slate locks. So if you want to get part of that and try to have a success like we have the past couple of days, get those likes in there and those comments in there as quickly as possible. Second way, there's somewhere in this video there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Listen for it, type it in, and have your second shot at a free week of FTA Plus. Now, we're going to have the 2 winners from yesterday's video. Again, over 150 likes back-to-back days. Very exciting. Love what we bring to the table. Love that you guys have given us so much love since the beginning of the season. So even if the keyword is in this first comment, this is only a winner for the first comment. Now, when you win, please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com. William Fasanella, congratulations. Lime was the keyword, but we are still re-rolling it. So you win because we had over 150 likes, which is awesome. So please email me. You know the drill. Hit me up an email, and we'll get you set up with your pass. Now, you have you have another chance to win. I'm going to pick another winner, and it could choose this right here. It could choose this comment again. So the winner of the free week, if they had the keyword, is Timothy Jones. The keyword was lime. So congratulations to both of you. Please email me and hit us up, and we will give you your passes. So congratulations to both of you. Make sure you guys come back every single day. Go check out all of our MLB tabs from simulations. We do 10,000 simulations before the video. And what I'm going to do is after we finish doing all of the games here, we're going to give you all of the batters ahead of a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So I'm running the simulations in the background as we speak. So before we get into it and we look at ballpark factors, we want to see which games have success, which games might be in store for a good game. So Pittsburgh at Tampa Bay, the wind is blowing out at Steinbrenner Field, which is a minor league complex. It has the most odds for a home run, followed by American Family Field, which is Milwaukee, Great American Ballpark, which is Texas at Cincy. So the first 2 games there, those are the ones that jump out early with the weather simulations and the 10,000 simulations. So that being said, we do have an 11-game main slate, but we have a couple of games early. Now, with that, we're going to use Baseball Savant a little bit too. We've got Texas at the Reds, and then we've got the Mets at the Marlins for early games before you jump into the Pirates at Tampa Bay. So if you are looking at the 2 early games here, the Mets at the Marlins, weather's not going to be a concern. The Mets are a 1.5 point favorite with an over-under of 7.5. Senga didn't pitch much last year. We know that, and did not face the Marlins last year at all. Against the Kodai Senga, I mean, they really haven't seen him. So if you are playing this 2-game early slate and you want, I think a lot of people are going to be on Senga, but if you want to stack the Marlins, I'm okay with that. I mean, as you can see, Xavier Edwards I would use. Jonah Bride is another one I would use. Nick Fortes I would use. Wagaman you could look at. Griffin Conine you could look at. He hasn't had much success against right-handed pitching last year and hasn't seen Senga, but you got to get creative, especially on a 2-gamer here. Then Sandy Alcantara. You kind of look at this. Obviously, did not pitch last year. Had a good start to begin the season. Now it's his second start of the year. Against him, like Lindor has a home run, Starling Marte has a home run, Soto has 2 home runs, batting .289. Obviously, you've seen him enough when he was with Washington. Pete Alonso has a home run, but only batting .156 there. But against right-handed pitching, if we look at that, Pete Alonso, 25 bombs against right-handed pitching last year, .241 batting average. Lindor with 22 bombs. Obviously, we know Soto had a huge year, .293, 28 bombs. Jesse Winker is another one that I like. I do not mind a stack here. Now, when we talk about stacks, especially with MLB, if you're new to it, on DraftKings, the normal stack to take down a tournament since 2018, I think it was 2018 or 2019 through 2024 was a 5-2 stack. So if you were to stack the Marlins or the Mets here and you want to go 5, those numbers, I would add the ones we talked about. You could throw in Mark Vientos or Starling Marte as well. Now, a secondary stack would be a 2 stack, whether or not you want to go with the Marlins there or you want to go with the other game, which I do like as well. On FanDuel, the optimal stack normally on a normal big slate is a 4-3 stack. So your main stack is 4 players. Your secondary stack would be 3 players. So what I want to do is I usually like to go through the Vegas odds. I like to look at the highest scoring, the highest Vegas odds. So either implied run team total or over under, however you want, and then kind of narrow down how I stack that. So pitching wise, I don't mind either of those pitchers for tournaments, but again, it's a 2-game slate. Got to get a little creative, especially since this Great American Small Park ballpark is going to probably give up some runs in this one. So you got Carson Spears facing Nate Eovaldi. Eovaldi, 50 plate appearances, .209 batting average against him. Spears has never faced Texas before, but with this ballpark, I'm all in on a lot of things. So if we look at this, Spears last year, 5.46 ERA, did not do very well. And then you had Eovaldi last year, didn't get a win, but had 1.5 earned runs per 9 in the start. 6 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, had a fantastic game. Contrarian, Eovaldi, I am okay with that. Since he bats against him, no one's hit a home run. Against right-handed pitching, Candelario, you could look at Ellie De La Cruz. Obviously, if he gets on base, he can steal bases, but if he hits the ball over the fence, going to have a good time too. Gavin Lux now coming over here, lefty on righty matchup here. 393 plate appearances against right-handers last year, 10 bombs. That was in a stacked Dodgers team. But yeah, I mean, it's still, you've got him to look at. TJ Friedl, I'm okay with, 230 batting average, 11 home runs there. Jake Fraley, if he gets in there, 284 batting average with 4 bombs. Yeah, I mean, that's what Matt McClain, maybe a little bit. Spencer Steer, depending if you guys want to go with a 5-man stack here. And then Texas bats against Spears, never seen him before, like we talked about. Against right-handed pitching, though, I would look at Corey Seager if he's in there and he's playing. I love him when he's there. Jock Peterson, love me some Jock Peterson, especially in this ballpark. Those would be my top 2 probably if I'm going with Texas bats. Another one, Leota Taveras, would be a cheaper option. Wyatt Langford gets on base, steals bases as well. Marcus Semien for tournaments, I'm okay with. Cash, I don't trust. Adolis Garcia, kind of the same thing. I don't know if I trust him in cash, but I would trust him in tournaments. Then the technical first game on this main slate is Pittsburgh at Tampa Bay, which is in the small ballpark. We are already the first part of the season, and we do not have a pitcher for Pittsburgh. Through 10,000 simulations, they have not announced a pitcher yet as of the making of this video. So depending on when you watch this video, maybe they've already made their mind up, but it's hard to kind of talk about this game when there isn't much to go off of. But we do have Shane Baz. So if we look at him and we look at splits-wise last year, home games, 331. Again, that was a terrible ballpark. Home now is in Yankee Stadium or Yankee Spring Training Facility. So it might be a little bit different. Numbers might be different. Maybe he pitches like he was away, 2.86. I'm okay with that, especially against Pittsburgh. Being $8,000, I am okay with using him. But we can't really go over bats. I'm probably not going any Pittsburgh bats. We can't really go over any Tampa Bay bats right now until we know who's pitching lefty or righty. So we'll have to skip this game. But when you guys check out our premium content on FTA Plus, all of that will be decided on. We'll already have the simulations and stuff like that. So the next game is Arizona at the Yankees. The Yankees obviously had a fantastic weekend. Corbin Burns comes in here going up against Will Warren. So we look at this game. And we know, so Corbin Burns obviously played with Baltimore last year, and he faced the Yankees twice, 0-2 record. Well, we can just look at it. Last year, Corbin Burns, 0-2 record, 11 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 15 strikeouts. Did not win the game, struck them out a ton. 22 fantasy points. And just like we talked about in yesterday's video and the other videos, when you're looking for fantasy points, in baseball at least, like NBA, you're looking like 6.5, 7 times value for the floor. Basically, you're looking for 2 to 3 times value for baseball. So take down a tournament, 25 to 30 fantasy points from both of your pitchers on DraftKings is probably what it's going to take. He had a great game there. The Yankees are hitting differently. We know that. You can say the torpedo bats, but then MLB put out Instagram post today that there are a ton of teams using it, just no one's talking about it. They're not hitting home runs like the Yankees were. It's Yankee Stadium. The majority of those home runs were Judge, and he's not using that bat. But Judge has been absolutely on fire to start the season. Jazz has been on fire. Like, Corbin Burns has had good stuff. So if the Yankees are going to come out and strike out, Corbin Burns could be in store. I think people are going to be on the Yankee stack. Burns for tournaments, I'm okay with. Do I trust him in cash against this hot Yankees team right now? No, probably not. Will Warren, on the other hand, obviously last year, not ideal. Had a 10.32 ERA, 0-3 record. Pitching at home at a 14.6 ERA. Again, bullpen, no starts really. Had a couple of starts, but other than that was bullpen numbers, and they're kind of skewed, but did face the Angels in a start, had 8 earned runs. Arizona's a different beast. Tournament-wise, Will Warren, I'm okay with, but am I trusting him in cash? Absolutely not. Arizona bats have never faced him before against right-handed pitching. Josh Naylor absolutely killed right-handed pitching last year. Batted better against right than left, had 25 bombs. Eugenio Suarez has started off very hot in the season. I would look at him. I think him and Judge are tied with home runs, I believe. I would look at Suarez. Corbin Carroll, if he can wrap it around that short porch, I'm okay with. But again, he doesn't hit it. If he hits it in the gap, left center, get on base, could steal bases, I am good with that one as well. So those would be my first 3 that I'd look at if I am stacking Arizona. Another one would be Jake McCarthy. I don't know if he'll be in there. Pavin Smith, 8 bombs last year. I am okay with them. Yankees bats against Corbin Burns. I mean, Oswaldo Cabrera has a home run. Goldie has a bat in 323 and 31 at-bats. Faced Goldie facing one of his former teams. Revenge game, story, whatever you want to call it. Had a good opening weekend. I would look at him. I would look at Cody Bellinger. I would obviously look at Jazz. I'd also look at Judge. It's going to be very hard to get a stack in there, but I think people are going to be on that one. But if you want to be contrarian, don't stack the Yankees because they struck out a ton against Corbin Burns last year, and go with Corbin Burns. But he is going to be expensive for you in this game here. Next game is Washington at Toronto. You got Jose Barrios, who absolutely got shelled his first game. 18 ERA in that game. Not ideal. And I wonder when the stats are going to start showing. Gave up 6 runs against Baltimore in 5 innings. Had looked terrible. Now, Baltimore obviously is a better team than Washington. We know this. On the flip side of that is Trevor Williams. Last year, Trevor Williams, on the road, 2.46 ERA. He had some good numbers, had a 2.03 ERA in 8 starts. Fantastic. Did not face Toronto at all. And Toronto's been, they're either putting up some runs against the Orioles this weekend, or they got blanked, or they put up a couple of runs. So tournament-wise, I think Trevor Williams I'm okay with. Jose Barrios, I don't trust him. I don't know how you could trust him. Right? Like 45 plate appearances, 286 batting average in his career against them. Trevor Williams, 12 plate appearances, so 1 start. 1 start compared to like 2 starts or 3 starts total. It just, Barrios, I don't trust him. Tournaments, maybe, but at his price, at 8,400, I can't pay up for him today. Could he have a good game? Yes. Am I going to be right all the time? No, I'm going to be wrong sometimes. Like yesterday, did I think Chris Paddock was going to get monster, -9 on FanDuel? Did I think the amazing White Sox were going to put up 9 runs in like the second inning or like the first 2 innings? No, I didn't. Nobody did. But if you stacked the White Sox like we did in our early lineup, you had a good time if you had the right White Sox. We do have sample lineups on the website, but you are not signing up for FTA Plus for an optimizer. Okay, we do not have an optimizer. I do not have $5,000 to implement an optimizer. And then it costs so much money per month to keep it updated with all the stats and to pull the stats. I just don't have that. If you're looking at Toronto bats against Williams, no one's really had success. Against right-handed batters, though, they have had, or pitchers. So Vladdy, with 24 bombs last year, batted .327 against righty. Santander had 32 bombs, batted .239. George Springer, 16 bombs, batted .230. They do hit righties better. So if you're not going with Trevor Williams, I am okay with some sort of Toronto stack. If you need a couple more, maybe Bo Bichette. Maybe we look at a Andres Jimenez would be a cheaper option at second base. You got Will Wagner at second, I believe. Nate Lukes as well. So if you're trying to find a weird little Toronto stack and you don't want to go with the main guys, you could look at the secondary guys, 6 through 9 batters, depending on who they are. And then Washington against Barrios, like Paul DeYoung has 1 home run. Hybrid Ruiz has a home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, if you do want to get crazy and don't want to go Barrios and you want to get a weird Washington stack, Ruiz I'm okay with. Paul DeYoung I'm okay with. Switch hitting Josh Bell I'm 100% okay with. Luis Garcia had 17 bombs last year. Cheaper options, Tanya or Alex Call would both batted. Call batted .368 and 60 at-bats, and Tanya batted .292 and 113 at-bats. Whether or not they're going to be in the game, we really don't know, but those would be the bats that I would look at in this game. We move on to Minnesota White Sox. Didn't expect what we saw yesterday, but here we are. Chicago, rain concerns here. So we do have Simeon Woods Richardson versus Shane Smith. Shane Smith will open the season in the White Sox rotation. I'd already been told he was on opening day. Did not pitch last year. 6,500. I think Minnesota might be bad this year. They could be very bad. Shane Smith at 6,500 for tournaments, SP2 on DraftKings, I'm okay with. Now, I don't know if Minnesota is actually going to be this bad or they are just this bad right now. Just kind of looking what they've done. I mean, yeah, losing 9-0 yesterday to Martin Perez is wild in itself, but Minnesota's 0-4. Shane Smith for it's not a country singer. I don't know. Shane Smith for tournaments, I'm okay with. Cash, no. Just because Minnesota, they do have bats, they just haven't been on right now. Simeon Woods Richardson, 4.18 ERA. Last year faced the White Sox 3 times, 12.2 innings, 14 Ks, but only averaged 9.6, 6 earned runs. Sneaky stack might be Chicago White Sox. Against Richardson, no home runs. Against right-handed pitching, like if I were to take any bats here, Andrew Vaughn, I would look at. He had a big home run early in the, I think, first inning yesterday. Benintendi, 16 bombs last year. Luis Robert, I would look at. You want to go even further down the rabbit hole? Michael Taylor had a home run. Don't know if he'll start, though. He usually only starts against lefties, so he probably isn't starting. You could look at Miguel Vargas, but numbers aren't very good. But again, you got to get creative with this White Sox stack. Minnesota just has been bad to start the season, and that's kind of where I'm leaning. SWR, no. Shane Smith for tournaments, I'm okay with. Now, these are through 10,000 simulation. We have all day to get the other simulations in there, so we might be in a good spot. It just really depends. So that's kind of where I'm looking at there. Kansas City at Milwaukee. Milwaukee's another team that's very bad. They look terrible. They just lost Savale for their pitching. So yeah, we've come in here. Michael Lorenzen versus to be announced, but it looks like it's going to be Chad Patrick. That is a name. There's just everybody is on the IL for Milwaukee, and they have not looked good, and Kansas City's a good team. Chad Patrick tournament, no, I'm off. Or for cash, I'm off. Tournament, because he's 6,000, I'm okay with. I just don't know how deep he's going to go into the game. If he goes 3 innings, we're screwed. That's especially on DraftKings. If you did on FanDuel, you're screwed. On DraftKings, you might be okay if he gives you what you need in those 3 to 4 innings, and then your SP1 has to be really good. I don't think I trust Chad Patrick. Lorenzen, splits-wise, faced Milwaukee once last year, 5 innings pitched, 13.7 fantasy points per game. Game logs, really struggled down the stretch, did not do much, didn't pitch, didn't start, came out of the bullpen, had some good starts, and then really didn't do much. So because of how bad Milwaukee's been, maybe you throw him in there for tournaments because he's under 8K. I'd be okay with that. But other than that, I'm probably looking at Kansas City bats, Pescatino, Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Massey I would look at, Sal Perez I would look at, Michael Garcia. I would look at these guys. That's probably it. I don't think I want anything to do with Milwaukee's offense. As of right now, I don't. I would look at Kansas City offense, maybe throw Lorenzen in for tournaments, but he's got to go deep in a game. You want 5 innings out of it. You got the Angels at the Cardinals. You got Matthew Liberatore versus Kyle Hendricks. Now, Kyle Hendricks is a boring pitcher. We talked about this when he was with the Cubs. Just blah. Splits-wise, obviously faced St. Louis in the same division only twice last year. 11.1 innings pitched. Did have 16.4. The strikeouts just aren't there for the most part. Like 2, had a 7 at Colorado. 2, 5, 2. Like, strikeouts are fantasy points. That's what you're looking for. Just because he's on a new team doesn't mean much. Liberatore, last year, 4.40 ERA. Faced the Angels once last year, 4 earned runs in 3.1 innings, minus 2.7. Yeah, there are other pitching options today. I would be just looking at bats. And we can look at those bats and figure out which ones we really want. Angels bats against Liberatore. No one's hit a home run, but against left-handed pitching last year. I'm all in on Soler. We love to take Soler against lefties. Joe Adell, I'm okay with. Mike Trout, I'm okay with. He only had 13 at-bats last year against lefties because he was obviously hurt. Maybe a little bit of Kevin Newman. I don't know if he'll start, but I don't mind him. Yoan Moncada, I'm okay with. Usually Travis d'Arnaud, when he was with the Braves, we took Travis d'Arnaud for home runs. I would not be surprised if he hits a home run here against Liberatore. Just depends on how the weather's doing and what the wind is doing. Those would be the ones I'd look at. Not looking at pitching. And then St. Louis bats against Hendricks. Nolan Arenado, for whatever reason, just dominates. 3 home runs against him in 30 at-bats. Against right-handed pitching, Ivan Herrera, if he's starting, which he should, I would look at Arenado, who's had success against him. Alec Burleson batted .292 with 18 bombs. Brendan Donovan batted .286 in 413 at-bats, 14 bombs. I would look at him. You could look at Lars Nootbaar, 10 bombs last year. Yeah, those would be the bats I'd look at. There's just other games that we have better pitching that we don't have to really worry about this. Now, could I be wrong? Could this change? Yes. We could have different pitchers come in or simulations like something else, but that's kind of where I'm at in this one. Next game, we got San Francisco at Houston. Logan Webb versus Hayden Wesneski. So Webb coming in, coming off a good start. Didn't factor in the win over the Reds. Allowed 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks over 5 innings with 5 strikeouts. Not the best start, but again, we didn't really like that start in that ballpark. This one's a little bit better matchup for him. He did face Houston once last year, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 17.3. Wouldn't really be enough for looking at the 8,500 price tag, but there's like not a ton of like great pitching today. Logan Webb versus Houston, I am okay with. I don't love it. And then Wesneski, now with Houston, which is wild. Got struck in the foot by a comebacker in a minor league game last week, but we're negative. Now he's opening the season as the Astros' 5th pitcher, I think. Faced San Francisco twice last year, 1 start, 5 innings pitched, 8 Ks, 5 earned runs. Not looking either. I would probably, in this game, be focused on the bats more pitching. Logan Webb, I'm okay with. Wesneski, I don't trust. Early on, I don't trust it. Against Wesneski, like Willie Adames had a home run last year. Again, that was with Milwaukee. Wilmer Flores has a home run. Elliot Ramos has a home run. Against right-handed pitching, you can see San Francisco hits lefties better. But I would look at Willie Adames, who had 28 bombs against right-handed pitching last year. Matt Chapman had 21 bombs. Patrick Bailey if he's starting. I think Patrick Bailey's a switch hitter, maybe. I don't recall. I think he is. 8 home runs last year. Elliot Ramos had 12. Yastrzemski had 18. Like, I don't mind a San Francisco stack. It kind of feels like the way that I'm looking, I might be looking at different San Francisco stacks. So different possibility, like just like different combinations. I think that's kind of might be one of my strategies for today. Then Houston bats against Webb. I mean, Jordan has a home run. Jordan obviously is one I would use all the time. I would look at Jordan. I would look at Dubon. If he gets the start, I don't know. I'd look at Jeremy Pena. Take a little bit of look at a little tiny look down here at Altuve. Maybe a little bit of Yainer Diaz. We normally like to take Diaz against left-handed pitching. So in conclusion of this game, Wisniewski probably want nothing to do with. I do like bats on both sides. Cleveland versus San Diego. Next game, you got Michael King. And now, this is in San Diego, which is a pitcher's ballpark. So you got Michael King versus Logan Allen. Now, King last year, splits-wise, faced Cleveland once, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. They obviously, Jose Ramirez might be in, he might be out. Tweaked that ankle on, I think it was Saturday. I believe it was on Saturday and left the game. Not 100% on that ankle. They lost Josh Naylor, who had, 30 bombs or close to 30 bombs in a pitcher's ballpark. I don't mind Michael King at all. 8,700, give me Michael King. Up and down. And what did he do his first start? Didn't factor in the decision. 3 runs on 4 hits, 4 walks, and only 2.2 innings. That's the problem. 2.2 innings is not ideal with 3 strikeouts. So, again, early in the season, cold in some places. They're not getting as deep into games as you would like. They got to build up that arm strength. They did spring training. Now they got to build it throughout the season. So Michael King against Cleveland, I'm okay with for tournaments. I don't know if I trust him in cash, though. Then you got Logan Allen against San Diego. Did not face San Diego last year. Had a 5.73 ERA last year, though. Very up and down. Like his last start of the year was August 26th, -4. 7.1, 19.6. Had a -1.3 against Baltimore. He just hasn't been hitting. He's a left-handed pitching here. Probably off of him. If I were to take a pitcher in this game, it would be Michael King. And then I probably would look more so at San Diego bats overall than I would Cleveland bats. But if you want to look at bats on both sides, because that's why you're here, we can do that. The keyword of the day is going to be insomnia, because I'm having weird, I can't sleep. It's not good. I'm less sleep. I need more rest, like we talked about the other day. Against Michael King, no one's really had success. Against right-handed pitching, I mean, Nolan Jones, Stephen Kwan. You could look at Bo Naylor, would be a cheap catching option. I don't know if he'll start, though. It'll probably be Austin Hedges you could look at. Kyle Manzardo would be a sneaky option. I don't think a lot of people are going to be on today. Carlos Santana is always up there, but he's either kind of boom or bust with home runs. If you don't get a home run, you're probably not getting much out of him. Another one would be Lane Thomas if I were to go that direction. San Diego bats against Logan Allen. Machado has a home run. I would use Machado. And you could see, though, they don't hit lefties as well. That's what's wild. They hit righties better. Everyone sucks. They're better against right-handed pitching. If you were to go, I would go Machado, Cronenworth. Jose Iglesias batted .402. I don't know if he'll get in. Is he even up with the team, or is he down? Okay, so he is up. He should get the start. Who knows if he will, though. It'd be nice if he did. He'd be a cheap option for you. Jackson Merrill will be another one that I would look at in this game. So all in all, in summary, probably not using Logan Allen. I would stack San Diego. But if you look at that same thing, they didn't do well against lefties last year. So tournament-wise, I think his ownership's probably, we'll have all the ownerships on the cheat sheet. I bet his ownership's less than 5%. So tournaments, I'm okay with. Cash, absolutely no. I would go Michael King in cash. I would go Logan Allen in tournaments if I were to go in that direction. I know they didn't hit lefties very well last year, but Logan Allen struggled. So I don't know if I trust him enough. Detroit at Seattle is the next game. what we've got going on here is Logan Gilbert versus Casey Mize. Gilbert last year did not face Detroit at all. Pitching at home, had a 2.49 ERA, so he was better at home. So that's something I'd look at. Another one who did not factor in the decision on opening day against the Athletics, struck out 8 though, 2 earned runs, 7 innings. There was no run support for him. Okay. Logan Gilbert, I am okay with using him. Casey Mize, last year, 4.49 ERA. Did struggle a little bit. Number 4 starter. Last year, pitching on the road, 4.77 ERA. Struggled there. Seattle's offense has looked a little lackluster this year so far. So if I am looking at a pitcher, Gilbert has looked great. It just needs to get that run support because we need to get those extra fantasy points. So looking at Gilbert, success against him, Manny Margot has a home run, but that's basically it. Against right-handed pitching, not looking too good. Riley Green, if you were to look, I would look at Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green. Glaber, if he's in, I don't know if he will be. Colt Keith and Zach McKinstry, if you are looking for a Detroit stack. But personally, me, I am going Logan Gilbert there. Then Seattle bats against Mize. Jorge Polanco has 2 bombs, batting .357. That's really the only success against him. If I were to look at him, I'd look at Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. 21 bombs last year against right-handed pitching. I would look at Jorge Polanco. Only batted .198, but just it seems like he maybe sees something off the hand of Casey Mize, and we could use that and take that. Rowdy Tellez is more of that boomer bust dude. So home run or bust. It's the only problem. Luke Raley, 255 batting average, 20 bombs. J-Rod, 14 bombs, 275. I don't mind a Mariner stack today. I'm probably fading Casey Mize. Maybe that's a mistake. And I'm going to go with Seattle bats. And then I really like Logan Gilbert today. Next game, Chicago at the Athletics, Sacramento Athletics, whatever we want to call them. You got Sevy versus Justin Steele. Now, Chicago's bullpen has looked bad. They're in midseason form so far this year. Not the best starting weekend for them, for sure. Looking at that, Sevy had his electric stuff. When he is healthy, he was one of my favorite pitchers on the Yankees. But kind of looking at that, kind of Sevy, yes, 100%. Justin Steele, that's where it's a little bit up and down. So Sevy last did not factor in the decision. He did not get the run support either, but he pitched well. 6 strikeouts, 3 hits, 4 walks. The walks were a little high. Didn't give up any earned runs, though. Fantastic stuff. When he is healthy, he's one of my favorite players. Justin Steele earned the win on Thursday in Arizona. 3 runs, 6 hits, walk over 5 innings, only 2 strikeouts. Kind of low strikeouts there. Last year faced the Athletics. 2.2 innings, 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, 1 strike. He must have got hurt in that game. I think he did. But the Athletics offense, not as good. Now, obviously, they're at home, but they're not the same home as the home that we're used to in Oakland Coliseum. I like both of these pitchers. I think both are cash or tournament options. Bats-wise, I'm probably off of the bats in this one right now. Through 10,000 simulations, not one Athletic or Cub bat hit the top. They don't have a 9 or 10 batting rating here. Not ideal. They are at the bottom, about a 3 out of 3 matchup rating for both teams. So pitching wise, I love Sevy. I love Steele. I think both are cash or tournament options. Personally, I am not looking at the bats in this one. If you were to look at the bats, Kyle Tucker has a home run against him. That's it. Against right-handed pitching, Justin Turner, 8 bombs last year. Kyle Tucker had 18 bombs. Suzuki, 17. Ian Happ, 18. And Michael Busch, 20. So those would be the ones I'd look at if I were to take Cubs bats. And then Athletic bats against Steele, no home runs, nothing. Against left-handed pitching, Langoliers maybe, Soderstrom, and Duhar. And Duhar crushes lefties. Just if he can get back to his 2018 self. Seth Brown, Lawrence Butler, those would be ones. Brent Rooker you could look at. But personally, I'm probably looking at both pitchers for sure. And then the final game, the Braves at the Dodgers. We have Chris Sale versus Dustin May. Now, Chris Sale did not have a good start. 3 runs, 6 hits, and a walk over 5. Did have 7 strikeouts. Very surprised. I mean, that's a decent start, actually. Now he's going up against the Dodgers, though. Last year, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. If he could do that, he will be a huge pitcher tonight. Now, I say that because everyone's going to be on the Dodgers, which, most likely they should be. Dustin May against the Braves. Didn't face anyone last year. Obviously had Tommy John surgery. So we can look at the final game here. Maybe. May didn't face him any before. Braves bats against May. Ozuna has a home run. Profar has a home run, but Profar got popped for yesterday. According to sources, Braves outfielder Jurickson Profar tested positive for some substances banned by the MLB and will be suspended. So he is out. He is not most likely going to be in this lineup. He could contest it, but I think he's still banned no matter what. So he is out. If you were to take, maybe we think Dustin May is not going to have a good game. Chadwick Tromp, I don't think he'll start. 282 batting average last year. No one would be on him. His ownership is probably less than 2%. I would look at Ozuna at 34 bombs. Orlando Arcia with 16. It just really depends who is going to slate and move over into left field to take Jurickson Profar's place. You could look at Jared Kelenic, would be a cheap option. People won't be on. Austin Riley, you could look at 14 bombs, batted 263 last year against right-handed pitching. Like Matt Olson with 19 bombs. Honestly, I think everyone's going to be on the Dodgers. A Brave stack might be sneaky, or just depends on the lineup that comes out. And you will get some value for whoever takes over for Jurickson Profar in left field. And then Dodgers bats against Chris Sale. No home runs. Against left-handed pitching last year, Will Smith, we always took him against lefties. Mookie Betts, same thing. Teoscar Hernandez, you guys know this. If you've been with us before, we always take Teoscar Hernandez against lefties. Another one would be Tommy Edman, batted .412 with 4 bombs. Obviously, Ohtani is in there. We know Ohtani had only 12 bombs against lefties, though. So maybe Chris Sale is okay. If you don't want to go with Chris Sale, you could go with the Dodgers bats that we did just talk about. And there you have it. That is the main slate breakdown and the early slate breakdown. All of the pitchers that are available, all of the bats that are available. We'll have even more that we didn't talk about in the article, which you can find at FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over the top bats out of 10,000 simulations. So these are all bats out of 10K simulations. There weren't very many 10 out of 10. We had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 10 out of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of the batters that have a current 9 out of 10 rating as well. So these could be your top bats. And then we'll look at pitchers real quick in the order. These are only 10,000 simulations though. So again, this is a great starting point. But if you need a little bit more help, go check out the website after you've watched this video. Helping out the channel would be awesome if you guys would like the video and watch the entire video. I know they're long, but the more watch time, the better the algorithm, the more energy I get to help you guys, which has been awesome. This weekend was amazing. I loved watching the views skyrocket quickly. So many new subscribers this weekend have been nuts. So if I'm looking, here are our top batters and top pitchers. So number 1 batter after 10,000 simulations, number 1 is Aaron Judge. Number 2 is Corey Seager if he gets in there. Number 3 is Juan Soto. 4 is Fernando Tatis Jr. 5 is Marcus Semien. 6 is Mookie Betts. 7 is Vlad Guerrero Jr. 8, Yordan Alvarez. 9, Jackson Merrill. 10, Manny Machado. 11, Xander Bogaerts. 12, Jake Cronenworth. 13, Luis Arraez. So you can see 5 straight batters for San Diego. So a stack against Logan Allen might be a good stack. Number 14 is Alec Burleson. So 14, 10 out of 10. And then we've got Wyatt Langford, number 15. Number 16 is Jock Peterson. I love both of them. 17 is Carlos Correa, but which Minnesota team are we going to get today? I don't know. Next up is Stephen Kwan, Isaac Paredes, Andrew Benintendi, Connor Joe, and finally Elias Diaz. Now, I don't know if Diaz is going to play. I don't know if Connor Joe is going to play, but we did usually like to take Connor Joe. Is he even on? Hold on. Is Connor Joe even on the team? I don't think he is. I don't know. Or he's not popping up right now. So I'm off of the Connor Joe and Elias Diaz. So pretty much ended it with Andrew Benintendi. Again, these are early simulations. Once we get all of the news and notes, the weather finalized in the morning, we get the couple of pitchers that we want to confirm. We will update. We usually update the 20,000 simulations about an hour to 2 hours before first pitch on MLB. So you can always go check it out. If you guys kind of want to see what you could see with FTA Plus, I will show you a demonstration of what to offer. So DraftKings simulations, we've got that. BVP, we've got that. Batter splits, we've got that. Looking for stolen base targets, it shows the person, how many stolen bases they've gotten, the opposing pitcher, and how many stolen bases they've given up. Chalk plays, you play cash, you want to play chalk. Ballpark factors, so we've updated a little bit. I'm losing my voice apparently. If it'll load. Ballpark factors, obviously with 2024, but you can see, you can come in here and sort it however you want. It sorts it by park factor. So you got WOBA, you've got ex-WOBA, you got Bacon. If you have questions about these, you can ask. But you can, what we want to look at is how many hard hits have had, runs given up last year, OBP hits, first, second, third, triple or singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. So if you wanted to see which field gave up the most amount of home runs last year, you look at that. It's Great American Small Park, like we've talked about. 128 bombs. Dodger Stadium, Yankee Stadium. So you can see that this is last year, obviously, and it's still cold in some of these ballparks. So once the season gets through, we'll be able to update this, and we'll be able to give an update through this season, because when it warms up and the humidity is out there, the ball is going to fly out there more. But again, we're only 4 games into the season. We've got what we've got, okay? So you go through, you can look at them. You can use that as one part of your research. That's ballpark factors. But what I wanted to show you is kind of what is on our cheat sheet. So again, these are a great starting point. $10 for a week for what we've got here. Huge. But you can check everything else out. But I don't know how to fit this into a chart that makes sense without having like one chart for cash, one chart for tournaments, one chart for stacks, and then one page for ownership. So I put it all in one. It's kind of annoying a little bit, especially on mobile, but you can open it up on a tablet or there's just so much data. It's very hard. If anyone here knows how to make it mobile friendly and we can get it working, I'll give you a free year of FTA Plus, or pay you. Just depends on how much it is. So it just depends. But like this is last year. So all the players we liked for cash, all the players for tournaments, the stacks that we liked. So we had the White Sox as a 5% owned stack, huge. We had a good time with that one. Royals put up, I think, 10 runs as well. Ownership goes through. You can see for every player goes down by ownership. You can sort it however you want it. It's sorted by pitchers, but you can come in through and sort it by ownership percentage. Both Fanduel and DraftKings, the weather that we've got. Early lineups, these are starting points, not an end-all, be-all. Kind of like what we do with the NBA stuff. It is not just a set it and forget it. We obviously had Chris Paddock there. Did not work out. FanDuel main, DraftKings early, DraftKings main, boomstick shot. So these are ones we are predicting home runs, or that's what we're looking at. So we got an Andrew Vaughn one. Like, this is what we put out there. We had 111 correct last year. I want to break that. I want to hit 150. I want to hit 200 correct calls. And it is early, but we are good to go. So we already have 6 on the year. Very excited. So let's see if we can get that up. So any questions you can ask down below. Get engagement here on the video would help me out. You can also check out the website or the article in the free Discord down below. So let's have a great Tuesday, a fantastic Tuesday. Good luck today, both whether or not you're doing baseball or NBA. Our content is there as well. Let's have fun. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.